The first time I encountered Tolkien was in August of 1983. I was at summer camp and hating every minute of it. Luckily, I had an accident and got a mild concussion on the first day and had to stay in bed for the rest of the time. To make it less boring for me, a girl lent me the German pocketbook version of The Hobbit, published by DTV. Unfortunately, the only thing I can recall were the weird drawings in the book, which are not at all like Tolkien's drawings and which somehow didn't really match the content of the book. However, the book must have interested me because when the graphic adventure for the C64 was released in 1983 and was finally available in German shops, I asked for it for Christmas and got it. And for some reason, the English paperback version of the book had also been thrown in by the publishers. I still have it today, and it was the first unabridged original English book I have ever read. At the time, however, I could only admire the pictures by Tolkien, the runes and the maps because I didn't have enough English to read the book itself. The game itself I never finished, but I remember really admiring the graphics, which for the time were very good and replicated some of the images from Tolkien's book. And you can still see this game today, and I'm going to post a link in the description if you want to experience it for yourself. In 1986 then, I bought and read the green German version of The Lord of the Rings, and the two books remained constant companions in my literary life for the next 3 decades. However, as I grew older, I began to dislike the elves more and more. While they are just a plot device and a nuisance in The Hobbit to make the journey even more perilous, their arrogance and defeatism, paired with a get-home-free clause in the form of the ships to Valinor from the Grey Havens, make them unbearable. So much so that I stopped reading the story beyond the Council of Elrond whenever I reread The Lord of the Rings. And after the films had been released, I wrote a series of essays on the trouble with elves. In those essays, I tried to explore why I disliked the elves so much and tried to understand them better. However, it wasn't until many years later that I listened to an interview with Christopher Tolkien where he stated that his father had also come to the conclusion that the elves, as immortal beings in a mortal body, posed a problem. And even then, it took me another 7 or so years, the reading of the history of Middle-earth, Tolkien's letters, biographies, the works of Verlin Flieger and other secondary material, and the must-read The Silmarillion, that I have finally managed to begin to understand the elves better and maybe sympathize with them a bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to explore my musings about the elves in a series of videos. And the first one will deal with the question of elves. Why are there so many of them and how can we distinguish them?